Hello, I'm Gyles Brandreth, and this is the Rosebud podcast, where our guest today is an actor, famous for Men Behaving Badly, Doc Martin, and for his love of animals. There's a lot to him. Please welcome Martin Clunes. Well, I'm excited, Martin. I think if it was Martin Clunes, but having done my research, I see you are Alexander Martin Clunes, born, have I got this right, 28th of November, 1961?
You betcha.
Tell me, I'm not going to call you Alexander. Were you ever called Alexander?
Never. Do you want to know why?
I do want to know why.
My mother was I think fair to say, a snob in some respects. She didn't like abbreviations. She thought my name was to include my father's name because his father had been an Alexander and his father had been an Alexander. But she felt if my initials were M-A-C, people would call me Mac, and she simply couldn't bear it.
She didn't want a Mac in the family.
No, Mac's here, please.
Gosh. Well,
so I've had this stone around my neck. I mean, that's in my passport. But
from being a boy, you were called Martin.
I was never going to be called Alexander. It was just literally for the initials.
Oh, well, it's ridiculous. But bless her, we'll find out more about her in a minute. So that's when you were born. What I want to ask you, Martin, is what is your very first memory, the thing that's in your head as your first memory?
I think I have images of baths. I think I have a memory of being in a pram, being put in the garden in a pram. But I had a recent thing in my garden, one bit of my garden I was lying in on a sunny day, and I was having these, when we were little, my dad bought a pig shed in Mallorca, and every summer holidays we'd go out there. Not every summer holidays, but
pig shed, did you say?
A pig shed and a bit of land.
Oh, very good.
And he sort of converted the shed, put another floor in it, and it was quite basic. But it was quite fun for holidays. And I was lying there, and nobody was beeping. And I was having these sort of... I was being triggered. And I realised what it was. Where I was lying, the nearest trees were Scots pines, not leaved trees or leafed trees. And it was the noise of the wind through the pine leaves that when I was put out in my pram in the garden in Mallorca, the wind, there's only pines there. Oh. And that sound, it's very, very different. Oh. And it had a massive, massive, joyous, triggering memory of Mallorca.
That's fantastic.
And then you can sort of imagine that you can smell the pine needles. Yes. And Dad he liked to repair dry stone walls out there.
Now tell us, who was your dad?
My dad was Alexander de Morrow Sheriff Clunes.
Alexander Tomorrow, Sheriff
yes.
Clunes. This is a magnificent name.
Not bad, is it?
Why did he have this grand name?
Well, you see, I only know my dad's history through my mum's gritted teeth because I don't think she cared for his family much. But his parents were music hall entertainers. And the story my mum told was that somewhere my grandfather, who I never met the Duke de Morrow, and sort of buttonholed him in a hotel in Austria or something, and sort of pretended that he was my father's godfather, which he wasn't, but he gave him the name anyway. And so he was, Sheriff de Morrow. The sheriff thing, there was a few of them were sheriffs.
But they were literally sheriffs, as in the high sheriff of a county?
No, it was in their...
Just a family
name, yeah.
So say the name again. Alexander
Sheriff de Morrow Clunes.
Very good. He became known, though, and I knew of him. In fact, I knew of him before you were born, because I got interested in the theatre in the 1950s. Right. And I have a feeling I may have seen him in a play at the Arts Theatre in Great Newport Street in London.
Well, he ran that after the war.
Well, there we are. Then I did see him there. Yeah. He was an actor and a director, and when I was a child, a big name. I mean, that I was given for a birthday a biography of him by J.C. Trewin, which I've still got on my shelves to this day. So I was a fan of your father's before you were born.
Do you know it's one of the books that Joe Orton defaced that he got sent to prison for?
Oh my goodness! He took it out of the local library and wrote his
drawings in it.
Dad's
head in that. one of those famous photographers of the day.
And as Angus
McBain.
Angus McBain.
With a sort of your head floating in a black bag, and he took my dad's face off and put a monkey's skull on there, because I think my dad passed on one of his plays when he was running the Arts Theatre.
Well, tell me a little bit about your dad, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
Who was he? Who was Alec Clunes? Why was he well known?
He was well known because he was an actor, a successful actor in the classical sense, mainly theatre. He was nervous of cameras, I think, or he just didn't get enough exposure or practice.
He appeared in one of the Olivier films, didn't he?
Yes, he's in Henry V, Last Man to the Wig Basket.
That's a good line.
It's a terrible wig.
Oh, dear.
But yes, he was. He was Hastings. Met a bloody end, yeah. Mm. It was Henry V. No, was it Richard III? It's Richard III.
It's Richard III, so it's the 1950s.
Sorry, yes.
Okay, we get that right.
Yes. And he did a few other films. The BFI sent me, it was so sweet, during the war, some propaganda, loose lips sink ships type films Dad was in his 20s. And I could see all his, and I was related to when I was first working in front of cameras, that kind of like, is it seeing all of me? Sort of worrying about your body.
So who was your mother and how did they meet?
My mother, Daphne Gillian Acott. They met when she was his secretary when he ran the Arts Theatre. She had been Orson Welles' secretary for a grim year.
Oh, grim year. She found him difficult, did she?
Of course, yes. Yeah, it's
Well,
terrifying.
He was a monster, was he?
She was. I don't think he was aggressive or anything like that, but he could loom and move silently, apparently. And he'd suddenly be Daphne.
And you look round, and it's Orson Welles.
But he was needed a nanny, that sort of. He would check out of hotels without telling her, so she'd have to pack his stuff and go through. And in those days, you could resell unused plane tickets to pay the hotel and sort things out. And yeah, I think she'd just come out of art school. When that happened.
Well, what an experience.
And yes, it was an experience. It gave her some stories, and he was post-sinking Othello at the time when she first started working with him.
Wow. So your mother, Daphne, worked for Orson Welles, then just applied to work for your father as
and she worked
secretary,
in independent television when it first started, and then she got the job. She was really stage struck. She worked at the Opera House as well, doing very creative. She could paint and do things, but so stage struck. And I think I don't know how she felt going forwards into that. If it was like, I must go and work for that Alec Clunes, I don't know. But
he is this leading man. He's also, he's a producer as well as a director, as well as an actor. They meet because she's working for him. They fall for each other. Had he been married before?
Yes, he was.
You don't have any half.
But it didn't last. No children. No.
And so, can you remember your parents together at all?
Yes, and most of those memories in Mallorca, I guess that sticks out because when you're at home, you're at school or you're something else ghastly's going on. But I do remember that thing of evening drinks, and still the smell of Martini Rosso can send me back there, or Campari. This smells like a holiday to me. And Dad would have a Pernod and do that slow.
I love it when it changes colour.
Yes. And I can smell it, and he's always smoked a pipe and wore a short-sleeved safari shirt. And we'd go down, and they'd give us a Coke with a paper straw, in a green glassy bottle, and some olives that my sister and I had to divide up.
And is she the only sibling?
She's the only sibling.
And younger than you, older than you?
I couldn't tell you that.
No. I'm sure she always has looked a lot younger than you.
Younger, yes.
But were you the firstborn?
No. Damn you.
Well, I learnt these tricks from Jeremy Paxman a few years ago. Ruthless investigative journalism here. Anyway, she's still with us.
She's still with us. She lives on the Isle of Wight.
Good. Well, now she's certainly a lot younger than you. But were you good together as brother and sister?
So we were, and then Dad died, and everything went a bit.
Changed.
It sort of did, and so my grandparents said that Dad wanted us to go to state schools, and my grandparents said, this is a sign of the times, isn't it? Well, we'll pay for Martin to go to, because the thinking was that she should learn to type and then meet a good husband.
Yeah. Well, it had worked for your mother.
Yes.
She learned to type and met your father.
I know. But it wasn't a great idea to say. I was a massive bedwetter when my dad died, and my mother's family felt that I should go to a boarding school because I'd be gay if I stayed at home with my mother and my sister, because that's how it happens apparently. So I was sent off as a massive bedwetter and not really cherished in the dormitory, so I was put in a room on my own.
How come your father died when you were only 8? Because he would have been
He was
in his
57, lung cancer.
Had he been a heavy smoker?
Pipe smoker, never out of his face, yeah.
And he found that very difficult to face, didn't he? The fact of dying.
I mean, he didn't get long.
But did he go to Mallorca on his own?
He fell ill in Mallorca. And the doctor there said, you've got, weeks to live. So he came home and he lived for about 3 months.
And do you remember that time at all? Or not really?
I remember I'd made something out of balsa wood at school that I took him in hospital. And then I remember, actually I remember it very vividly that it had obviously been announced on the radio. So the school secretary, we were both at the same primary school, had got us out. And we were sitting on chairs in the entrance hall because they just assumed Mum would come and get us. And Mum's thinking was, they'll have a normal day and then we'll share this news. So we'd been sat for hours on the chairs, and then Mum came to get us. And we went to the sweet shop, which was only ever happened on a Friday usually, on the way home. And then we went home, and then she told us what had happened.
So you knew something strange. The teachers didn't tell you. They just said, your mum's coming to get you.
Yes, yeah.
And had you been conscious that he was ill beforehand? I mean, something was wrong. You knew that.
Kind of, but, I'm not that bright now, so I was even less at 8. And you just get pushed. Life's just a series of experiences in a way, isn't it, at 8?
And how were he and your mother getting on at the time? Not so well?
Good, no.
Gosh. So it was complicated for her.
I only found all this out later.
Oh, you just thought Dad has died. That's the way life is.
Kind of, yeah. I'd never pushed my mother on what was going on, and she never really felt like telling us, and it sort of didn't seem like my business in a way. I found this out from my father's doctor, Dr. Russell Rees, who was a great guy, a Welsh GP and antique dealer, who I sort of hung out with later on when I was in my early 20s.
Gosh, and then you discovered it hadn't been so good, the marriage, and...
Yeah.
And did that change things in your head?
Not really. You're on the tip of a massive story that you probably don't want on your podcast. I sort of think I had a dissatisfaction with my lot vis-a-vis my father after that, but not in a damaging way. I mean, this is a crazy story, but
tell it.
A girl who worked for us died tragically in a car crash, and her mother couldn't cope with it and was going to see mediums, and we were thinking, and then she went to see this one woman who said, I keep seeing the actor who plays Doc Martin, anyway, these stories circulated amongst my family. My sister-in-law's brother had killed himself very tragically after an MND diagnosis, and it left a lot of unfinished business. And this talk of a medium who worked, in a way, it seemed, went. So Philippa was telling my sister-in-law about this. She said, well, I'll go with you. And this lady who holds the sessions doesn't take payment, only asks for Christian names, and the Christian name of my sister-in-law was the name she had for the appointment, and she invited them to record it with their phones, and whatever. And she said, I've got, and Philippa was sitting in the background, and she said, there's someone, is there an Alexander? And it was my dad.
Gosh.
Beetled through.
Good grief.
To say, I'm really proud of you, and I really wish I'd been a grandfather to Emily, and all this wonderful stuff. And I was in Australia, on the west coast of Australia, when Philippa said, I haven't slept all night. She'd sent me the transcript of the thing like that. And I remember getting this news and thinking, I'll have that.
It's
I'll
extraordinary.
have that, thank you, that's fine. Because it's better than my unformed version.
So you're now in a good place with your father.
Yeah.
And as a little boy, you were in a good place up until the age of 8.
Yeah.
And then when you lost him, because he died, it became more complicated. And you were in a bad place for a while because you'd lost your father. And then when you heard from your doctor friend that your parents' marriage hadn't been what it was. You also felt in a bad place.
Kind of, yeah.
And then now...
Although I never felt in a place that I would identify as bad at the time.
But you felt a bit uncomfortable about him. Whereas now, you feel good about him. I mean, he's proud of you.
Yeah.
And you can be proud of his achievements.
And I found myself bragging about, my dad who did this, yeah.
Yes, and he really did. I mean, it's interesting.
He was a conscientious objector at a time when it was hard to be a conscientious objector.
Because he made war films, didn't he?
No, he turned down the part that Michael Redgrave took of the guy who did the bouncing bomb, because Dad said, I can't do that.
Well done him.
Yeah, and he stood, a couple of court-martials, and he drove a...
you mean he was a proper conscientious objector?
Yeah, you bet.
He didn't just say, I don't want to do it, and you do
draft.
something else. They said, you will serve in the army, and they took people to court, did they, and tried them?
Yeah, and he was an atheist as well, so he couldn't claim a faith, thou shalt not kill thing. He had to do it strictly on beliefs.
And as a result of that, what happened to him?
He drove an ambulance in the Blitz.
So he did war service.
Yeah.
But he didn't actually have to fight in the
and
front
he did
line.
these little films.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
What an interesting character to have had as a dad.
Yeah, not
so
bad.
we have you, aged 8. Do you remember your first friend outside the family?
Jason Foster.
And how old are you? How old was he?
He's maybe a year younger than me. He's Barry Foster's son. Barry Foster lived at the end of our road, and Joanna and Miranda, Jason's sisters, we were, cycling on Wimbledon Common.
Barry Foster, actor?
Van der Valk.
Right, of course.
Of course. And Frenzy, the Hitchcock film, the necktie murderer.
Because you come from a theatrical heritage. I mean, your grandparents, who said, were they musical entertainers? Would you describe them
Yes,
as?
somewhere I've got a postcard of them as in a troupe called the Brownies, peeking out from
lovely.
behind.
Like a Pierrot troupe, like a Folderols,
like
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And they are your father's parents.
Yes.
And where does the Jeremy Brett connection come in?
That's my mum's family.
So on both sides there's theatre.
Kind of, yeah.
And Jeremy was your mother's brother? Or
No, cousin.
Cousin.
Second cousin. Yes, although, you see, because Dad died when I was 8 and then I was packed off to boarding school, I wasn't living in a theatrical family.
No.
Mum had started an antique shop in the house to
make
fill
ends
her
meet.
time, yeah. So it wasn't like that. But then Jeremy came back from America just before he started doing Sherlock Holmes, which coincided with me graduating from drama school. And he was fantastic. He sort of... Did you know him?
I did know him.
Well, you know what his company was like.
Sensational.
$1 million. He just...
Absolutely.
Yes. And it was kind of great timing for me because I don't think he might have come to a play I did at drama school or something like that, but was just supportive and loving and became the father in the business that I'd been missing, I guess, in a way.
So much style.
Yeah, so much stuff. And his son David now lives down the road from us, and we hang out all the time.
So you are brought up to the age of 8. Where are you living?
On the edge of Wimbledon Common.
Oh.
Leafy.
And how did your mother afford to go on living in Wimbledon?
So Dad's life insurance paid off the mortgage.
Oh, brilliant.
£3,500 mortgage.
Wow.
So that was okay. Family allowance and the widow's pension.
Gosh.
And I don't think the antique shop made much money, but it gave Mum something to do. She loved it.
God.
And she would, every Monday and Wednesday, she'd shut the shop and go off buying. And that, or the fairs, the antique fairs, with people wear glasses around their neck like that. Yeah.
It gave her
she loved all
purpose
that.
and pleasure.
She loved it. Yeah, and the community. Yeah.
What's your best recollection of your mum from when you were a child? Your happiest, sweetest recollection of being with your mum?
I remember, and this would have been before Dad died maybe, us having a picnic in the grounds of Cannizzaro Park, which was just up. I don't know why we went to a park when we lived on the edge of the common, but the park was just on the edge of the common. It's a hotel now.
Yeah.
And I could take you to the spot, the slope, and with Tupperware of things to eat.
A picnic.
Yeah,
Lovely
just
picnic.
me and Mum, yeah.
Fantastic. So Dad dies, and who decides you've got to go to boarding school as a consequence?
I don't know, but it was decided. My mother's family, obviously. Yeah.
Your grandparents came to help, I imagine.
They said they'd pay for my education.
And were they good grandparents?
Yes, they were. They were. Nothing straightforward here, is it? My mum's relationship with my grandmother was complicated because she wasn't her mother. She was her aunt. And Grandpa was a civil servant in India. And Mum was born in Pakistan. And then her mother, her and her sister, my aunt, their mother died very suddenly and unexpectedly. And Grandpa married the sister sent out.
Oh, well, why not?
Yeah. But weirdly, in those days, the thing to do was when a child reached a certain age, you'd send it back to England with the ayah, which they did. But to England in the middle of the Second World War. So the school in Essex was immediately evacuated to the Lake District on the edge of Lake Windermere. And Mum loved it there. Because the roads were empty. You could toboggan down the lanes in the snow. And her and her sister went up there.
So here she is, your mother, left alone, but financially things have been sorted out with these two children. And it's decided you should go to boarding school. The grandparents help with the school fees. You are already bedwetting almost immediately. That's how it manifests itself, the distress you must be feeling with your father's death. And what is the school like? It's a prep school.
Very small, about 120 pupils.
All boys?
All boys. It's still there. It's called Barfield. And there were only about 20 or so boarders. So obviously I wasn't cherished in the dormitory. I was a smelly lad.
Oh my gosh, you weren't cherished because you were a smelly lad because of the bedwetting?
Yes. Who wants a piddler in the room?
Wow. Wouldn't even have thought of that. So you felt...
Well, the various
you felt self-conscious.
barbaric devices. There
God.
was one thing that was like lying on metal under your sheet, but that would sound off a hooter when liquid, made the contact. But it took quite a lot, so it was kind of like you have just wet the bed, not you're about to. And obviously that wasn't popular in the dormitory.
But this is a well-intentioned device designed to sort of alert you, to wake you up and make you go to the loo.
Yes.
That was the idea,
it never worked.
I suppose.
No, it didn't work.
Oh, dear.
But do you know what? When I was writing the book Meetings with Remarkable Animals,
yeah.
I touched on this because the biology teacher, Mr. Huggett, put me in charge of the quite considerable school menagerie. And I would go down and I would let out the donkey, the sheep, the turkey, the hens, and the guinea fowl, and give them their food. And at the end of the day, I'd shut them away again. And I think it was a very good use of me, a good thing to do with me. And I still... I'll go off with the dogs to fix a fence somewhere and have that me and the animals time, and I love it. And when I just had one Jim, my old Jack Russell, I'd just say, "Come on, Jim," and Emily, my daughter, would say, "Go on, Jim, you're off on a mission," and off we'd go and do something. And I love that time with.
What was the first animal in your life? Your memory of your first animal?
The first animal was Timmy, the cat, who was Dad's cat, and Dad liked cats. And so after he died, he was a sort of legacy cherished cat and a special thing. He got epilepsy.
A cat with epilepsy, is that a common phenomenon?
Yeah, well, we just put down a dog with epilepsy, who'd had epilepsy. Yes, but he'd sit, there was an old piano, he'd sit on top of the piano and then have a fit. And it would shake all the strings, you could hear it all around the house.
Gosh.
And we had another cat called Tommy. And then they went the way of cats, But my daughter long lobbied for a dog, and so we got Jemima from a rescue.
You mean your
centre.
sister?
Yeah. What did I say?
You said your daughter.
Sorry, my sister. Yeah, I'd wanted a dog, so we got Jemima, a little white terrier, from a rescue place, and I think my sister was, lost interest, and then it just sort of became this dog. And my mum never wanted a pet, but she did, bless her, she did it for us. And so she was sort of left with it. And then later on, I got really close to Jemima, and I know any child will tell you the thrill of a dog's weight on your bed is, especially to a child, is something special.
But the animals have been important to you from that time on.
Well, it's funny. It was just writing that book sort of made the and sort of spotting those stepping stones back through my life. That they have, and obviously it's got a bit out of hand lately, but they've been good to me.
But when you were a little boy, were the animals, I mean, looking at back now, were they the sort of the comfort you found after the death of your father? Did you feel the loss of other boys at school? I suppose had dads. Did you feel, oh, I haven't got a dad? Were you aware of that?
I was aware you could be teased for that.
Oh, really?
Or you could boast about that. It was a difference. It sort of set you apart. But I didn't feel I was a figure of tragedy in any way. I never.
And also,
have.
Mr. Huggett, the biology teacher,
yes,
was a good man actually,
yes,
and he understood you.
He got that right,
and he got it right. He gave you the animals. It's lovely. And then where did you go to school next?
After that, I stopped. They realised that boarding wasn't for me. So I went to a school called Royal Russell on Shirley Hills, outside Croydon.
And was that good? That school good for you? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good. It was mixed. I got perfected smoking, chasing girls, and that sort of thing. I was rubbish and annoying, or caned daily.
Caned?
Oh, yeah.
Did caning?
Oh, boy, yeah. Oh, well, the prep school did a bit of that as well, yeah.
Were you caned at prep school?
Yeah.
Can you remember what it was like?
Yeah, sore.
I mean, they caned you on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what were the misdemeanors? What were you doing?
I don't know. Smoking. Peeing behind a tree once in the forest.
Yeah, well, maybe it's better than peeing on the metal sheet in your bed.
Maybe.
You could have said, sir.
There's a theme emerging.
Yes, exactly. Deary me.
Yeah.
And are you conscious of being happy or unhappy or just
At
muddling
school,
along?
yeah, I was happy. I had lots of good friends, a lot of laughing.
Yeah.
I've always had a lot of laughing. I like laughing.
And girls? Do you remember being taught the facts of life?
No.
You weren't ever?
No. I tried to teach myself in several practical experiments.
Mr. Huggett on hand to point you in the right direction.
Oh, boy.
Oh, dear. Were you quite young with this at the school?
At the school, I was an early teen, and then I was there when I got my moped when I was 16. I left when I was 16 and went to drama school.
I mean, is there a funny story you can tell us about the first of these embarrassing moments?
Certainly not.
So was that funny?
Well, there was, nothing special, just, fumblings.
But you were content at school, and were you clever enough? Did you do O-levels or GCSEs?
I wasn't enthused. No, I wasn't. Mr. Foote, the deputy head, called my bluff because when people say, "Well, what are you going to be when you grow up?" I just sort of said an actor without.
Oh, you automatically said?
Yeah, I guess
because
so.
Your dad had been an actor,
and kind of what
you
we
had
did
a
in the
sort of
family.
uncle figure who was an actor.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Without knowing anything about it.
Were you in the school plays?
Well, then Mr. Foote put me in the school plays. Yes, that was a triumph.
Was it? What was the first one? Can you remember your first appearance on stage?
I played Costard in Love's Labour's Lost.
Oh.
To great acclaim.
But it's an amusing part.
Well, I got a lot of laughs, yes.
Yeah. He's the clown, the fool.
Yes, yeah. And I realised that I could do that, make people laugh. And that's when the rot set in.
Yeah. And you've been doing it ever since, sometimes unintentionally. Who knows? No. But you do serious work as well as
do
well
anything.
Yeah, you do the charming work and the serious work. And did your parent, your then mother, think, well, because you went to arts educational, didn't you?
Yes.
The London Drama School. And from that moment onwards, did you feel at home? You thought, this is my destiny. I'm going to do this.
No.
Oh.
I didn't, but it became what I was doing. And then, of course, you get into this sort of looking for a funnel, don't you? Then you've got to get your equity card, you've got to go into repertory and stuff like that. And off I went. I went to the Mercury Theatre in Colchester and did and worked for a long time in the theatre. And not failing or anything like that, not being unhappy, but not... I don't know. Then I got the opportunity. I directed a play with two friends in a pub, a two-handed version of Alan Sillitoe's The Loneliness of the Long-Distance Runner, and it was really good, and a really simple set and setting. And so we managed to flog it around we toured it around England.
And how old are you at this time?
Mid-20s, I suppose. And then the British Council saw it, and they said, oh, this would be great for us. So we went to Nigeria and toured around Nigeria, going to universities and theatre troupes, and that was amazing, because the next day we'd do workshops with them. And they loved the play, because it was very rhythmic, because you couldn't really run around on stage. And so we'd work, they'd want to work with that the next day, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I thought, and I saw the way what theatre meant for them as a sort of political, social discussion forum. That a lot of their theatre groups are very political, and it's a way of airing things, And I thought, wow, I see the value of this, and I started to see what it offered me and what I offered it, and then I sort of reconciled, and yeah.
But that's the kind of thing that your father would have thought through as well.
Possibly, yeah, maybe. Because I just bimbled.
Because you just bimbled.
I just bimbled through life. I kind of still have, but I was bimbling through the first part of my career without that clarity. I was getting away with it, but I didn't have that.
You were just doing it, and then suddenly you think, actually, this is worthwhile.
Actually, this
I'm
is
going
okay.
to concentrate on that.
Yeah. And even if I'm doing something really silly, because when I finished at Arts Ed, I really wanted to go into theatre and education because I thought that's worthwhile. I thought that's a good thing to do. And then I didn't get a job there, so didn't do that. Still bimbling.
Bimbling is a nice word. I'm not familiar with it. So you were a natural bimbler, but you eventually, when do you take off? When does your life change?
I did a play at the Hampstead Theatre that was very good. I had a really good part that wasn't on much. That's why it was a bit like Mercutio. Didn't get worn out, and it went very well. And Harry Enfield came to see it, and then asked me to do some sketches on his sketch show and things. And then we did a TV series together called Gone to the Dogs with Warren Clarke and Alison Steadman and lots of lovely people. And then Harry was going out with Sue Virtue, who was Beryl Virtue's daughter at the time, and then the idea for Men Behaving Badly came along. And then I got, Harry suggested me to Beryl for that. And I did that.
That's
when people learnt my name, if you know what I mean. I was doing
yes.
an Inspector Morse or a Lovejoy here or there, before that.
And
no, I'd been in a sitcom. What am I talking about? Yeah. I'd been in a sitcom called No Place Like Home before that. And I did one called All at Number 20 with Maureen Lipman. Did 2 series of that.
But that's when life took off.
But then, I suppose so.
Of course, it did.
Yes,
take off.
But I wasn't starving. I wasn't working in restaurants. I was earning a living.
Rather like your father, you had one brief, short first marriage.
Yes.
So you've done a bit. So like your father, you end up as an actor, director and producer. You have one short marriage. You're smoking for a while, but you give it up because you don't want to die of cancer like he did.
Yes.
That's very good. Did you feel a sense of failure when your marriage ended? Or you were so young you thought these things happened?
No, it was horrid, really. Yeah. It's not a nice thing to do.
And you didn't have any children?
We didn't.
So, in a sense, you moved on? Yeah. And how did you meet Philippa?
She called my agent and booked me for a lunch. They had a film called...
Because she was a producer?
She'd been a commercials and promos producer and documentaries producer, and there was a scheme, the same scheme that Kenneth Branagh and co. got together for Henry V that the government introduced. And she thought, I'm going to make a film. And her brother Simon wrote it. And they asked me in...
Simon, what's his surname?
Simon Braithwaite. He no longer writes. And then slowly through the pre-production, it was, my God, Miss Jones, but you're lovely. I fell in love with Philippa.
Can you remember the moment of it happening?
I can remember a few moments, yeah.
Give us one, only because I'm intrigued by people saying, I met and we got married. It's a journey, isn't it? Can you remember the sort of the click moment? Because how long have you been together now?
Well, nearly 30 years.
Yeah, and you work together all the time.
Yeah.
Doc Martin is your co-production.
Well, we don't do the same job. I'm not a producer.
No, but you create it together.
Yes, definitely.
It is in a sense your baby.
Definitely.
As well as having a baby.
And all the factuals we've done.
So the point is, this is somebody who you've actually spent your life, the last 30 and more years, collaborating with this person.
Yeah.
So when you tip over from, actually it's just fun having lunch and flirtation into this is for real, it's a big thing.
Yes.
It's a huge thing. Your life has been defined by the moment you and she fell for each other.
Well, I guess it has, yeah.
So what I'm trying to get you to remember is to pinpoint the moment at which you thought, this is irreversible, we're going through with this, each of you, what it was like.
I'll tell you when I proposed, shall I?
Please.
We'd been were we living together? Yes, we were living together, I think. And do you remember the holiday program? They were at great gigs. I'd done it was doing San Francisco and Hawaii, and then on to Hawaii.
Oh.
And because it's that industry, you could get all the tickets you wanted because you're basically promoting things. And so they said they'd fly Philippa out to Hawaii at the end. And I guess I was away for about 2 or 3 weeks, and it was the longest I'd been apart from her. And I thought, I really, really miss her. I have to marry her. So she got off a 16-hour flight, and I popped the question in a bathroom in Maui.
Wow. And did she want to think about it, or did she say yes immediately?
She said yes immediately. She was confused, the jet lag.
Oh. And then you had...
well, then, because we had our return tickets, we just mucked around. We went to Kauai and Big Island and just had this joyous, I think, 3-week holiday.
This helps.
In
The
Hawaii.
setting helps for this beginning of a relationship, or the beginning of a deep relationship. And then how quickly did you have is it just one daughter?
Emily, just one daughter. Maybe 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Philippa then got really busy because she produced sliding doors.
Yeah.
And that took a lot of time and attention. But yeah, we did. We had Emily.
Yeah. And is it, are you a good dad?
You'd have to ask her. I think so. Yeah, I'm doting, adoring. Yeah, I miss her. She left home.
And how do you make a marriage work?
I don't know. We just
it's a tricky thing, you know.
We spend a lot of time together but separate, or at home together, but she's in her office, or she's with her horse, or I'm fixing a fence, or with the dogs, or with my horse, or something. And then there's obvious meetings, meal times and things like that, and the debate about what to eat, and the evenings. But I don't know. That's how we've done it?
What do you like most about her? What does she like most about you?
I don't know what she likes about me. I like her. She makes me laugh. She's really witty and elegant.
It's nice.
Hot.
Well done. If you can't tell me what she likes about you certainly can tell me what she doesn't like about you. What irritates her about Martin Clunes?
I'm repeating myself.
Do you do a lot of that?
An awful lot, yeah.
Really? Doing the same story again and again?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
It's the war cry. You said. Because there's a part of you that initially fights on, doesn't it?
And animals are now very much part of your life. So tell us, where do you live? Why are animals a part of your story?
I live in West Dorset on a small farm with horses, some cattle. We did have sheep, but they're annoying. And lots of dogs.
They're annoying?
Sheep? Yeah.
Very tasty.
Delicious. Yeah. And
why
then,
are they annoying? Because they're...
they just want to die for a pastime, really.
It's cruel. You're supposed to be an animal lover.
I am. And lambing is the best bit of sheep farming. Anyone will tell you that. That's nice. Although it's the hardest work, but it's nice. And then they just they're gorgeous when they're bouncing and gambling around. But then they're just charmless sheep.
Oh, really? I mean, do you like animals? Are they better than human beings? Do you feel easier with animals than with humans?
Never put them in a race.
Oh, fine.
They
are what they are?
We're all different infestations of the planet, aren't we?
Yeah, that's good.
That was always with Emily, like, don't squash a spider, it's his planet too. And we take care of these things.
I mean, do you have things that are more important than others? Maybe it isn't a race. Is work more important, the countryside more important, the animals more important?
Well, it's all part of the melee of my life, really. But I mean, the work, I have to work to support. It's not. We're quite expensive to run, and not that I want to retire, but I couldn't anyway.
Yeah, and you do like working, don't you?
I love it.
Doc Martin, how did that idea came about?
That came out of a film called Saving Grace that was shot in Port Isaac, where we shot Doc Martin. That was made by Sky Pictures. Which Elizabeth Murdoch... it was made by Sky. Then Elizabeth Murdoch started a thing called Sky Pictures, which was terrific. She gave lots of people in television a chance to make films, 90-minute films for Sky. And they approached us because of the Saving Grace was more successful in the States than it was over here. But Sky said, look, let's follow this. The character I played in it, there's a sort of dope-smoking GP. they said that tested well. Could we do prequels, sequels, or something with that character? How would you like to do 3 a year for 2 years? And we said yes, we would. Then, whilst we were making the first 3, Sky Pictures folded. So I met Nick Elliott, the then drama commissioner, with a brown envelope with a VHS in it, in a pub in Putney, and I said, "What do you think about picking this up?" And he watched it and said, tonally, the dope smoking thing didn't really work for the ITV audience. He said, "But we've no objection to you being a doctor down there, if you can sort that out." So then we dispensed with that character and invented the monster that he was.
And 18 years of it, was it? At least 18 years.
18 years, yeah.
Yeah. And you've abandoned it now. It's all over.
Or
there may be the odd Christmas special,
Never
like
say
Men
never.
Behaving Badly.
Maybe.
We may, good.
Well, there's also the American version now, Best Medicine.
With different people.
With Americans in. But I
But
guessed...
you get a little tickle?
I guessed as his father.
Oh my God, it's come to this. You're now playing your own character's dad.
Yes.
Oh.
But he's great. Josh Charles plays the doctor, and he's really good. And it's all in upstate New York.
Quite strange.
Yeah, it's weird as hell.
Deary me. Of your work, though, what is it in your head? And your head hits the pillow. What do you want us to put in the time capsule of your work that you
Well,
hope?
Doc Martin's not bad, is it?
It's very good.
80-something
But
hours of that.
I'm not choosing. You're choosing.
I'm choosing. Well, I got a lot. I mean, I've done very few feature films in my life. And then Emerald Fennell decided to kick an old rock over and give me a fantastic part in Wuthering Heights, which was very exciting at 64 to be exposed to that sort of world.
And who have you just been playing, controversially?
I did Hugh Edwards.
Yeah, what was that like?
Weird.
Very weird. I put it to watch, and I decided not to watch it in the end, I'm afraid, because I knew Hugh Edwards, and I thought this is going to be too uncomfortable.
I'm sure, yeah. I think you did the right thing.
Oh dear, were you not pleased with it? I mean,
No, I was really pleased with
yes.
it, but I think anybody had a problem with it, don't watch it.
Yeah, fine.
That's because people say to me, "What do you say to people who say it's too soon?" I said, "Don't watch it.
Yeah,
Don't
fair
play
enough.
your part in it."
Yeah,
Don't-
very
yeah.
good. But is it difficult to play a real person, maybe somebody you've met? You're the right height. I can see why you were chosen. Was it very difficult to do? No, it was just another job.
Well, yeah, kind of, yeah, with its own set of challenges. A very good makeup artist who helped, but also how much familiarity did we have with that man?
Yes. So you'd seen him endlessly.
Seen him endlessly on parade.
Yeah.
Not, that was a harder find looking through the archive.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah, not pretty at all, but yeah.
But it worked. And,
Well, I think it's a story worth telling. Yeah.
and you will play anything. I mean, what is the range of No, because I mentioned your name to people saying you're coming on, and they all say the same things. They say Doc Martin, they say Men Behaving Badly. They see you as this warm character. I don't think he's done the whole gamut. And you have, haven't you?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and you're ready to.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing your Lear eventually. Who knows? I mean, do you do stage work now? Do you do stage work?
I
again?
haven't for ages because I don't live near one. And
The commitment would be very great too.
well, I commit to a TV series for 3 months, but I work more than 3 hours a day, and it's not having something to do is my enemy.
Who has made you the person you are?
My wife and daughter, I guess. I think
Not your mother and father.
probably not my father, due to absenteeism.
But is he in? I mean,
I mean, I do. I notice things. I notice my hand. I've got arthritic hands now, which my mother had. I'm aware of that. But my set of sensibilities, I don't know. I'm not sure. It's just this bimbling thing, Some stuff sticks, doesn't it?
it's good. What Ibsen used to call the life lie.
Life lie.
Life lie. This bimbling thing. I often find it hugely successful.
What's he mean? What does he mean by the life lie?
It means you've convinced yourself in your head you have a lie that carries you through life. And your lie is that you are this amiable, bumbling person who, shifts along. And it's got you through things when you...
But I do. I've never I've never striven. I've never pushed. I've
Really?
literally everything has come to me.
Well done. That's fantastic. How are you at home with rows and things? Do you go quiet or do you go noisy?
A bit quiet and surly.
So, you do. You just retreat.
And so I'm not. I tend to avoid any kind of conflict. I don't do well in it.
No, exactly. I'm going to be bimbling now. That's it. Your lovely books. The one I've got, the first one I got, It's a Dog's Life.
Yes.
Was huge fun, and I gave it to different people.
Did you?
Then there was the second one you mentioned a moment ago.
Meetings with Remarkable Animals.
Yeah. And your third one, well, that was about heroic animals, wasn't it?
That was yes.
And because you did a TV series, or a one-off, about, didn't you?
I did about dogs. That was the first book came out of the TV series.
Fine.
Yeah.
And the third one, the new one, is what?
The new one is Training John and Murray.
And what's that about?
So that's about my Jack Russell Jim died not last year, 2 years ago now. And we knew he was going to because he had liver cancer and we weren't going to let him suffer. And so when he started to look uncomfortable, we, did the right thing. And then 2 weeks later, our Jackawawa, Penny, it turned out she had a tumour behind her eye that nobody knew about. So she was put down. So we just had 2 blind Cocker Spaniels and a retired guide dog in the house. And so the entire animal kingdom took liberties. Badgers came in the garden, crapping everywhere.
My goodness.
Deer came in, ate all the roses. The fox took the hens. And we were definitely I was missing having a terrier. And Philippa was on the train coming up to London reading Horse and Hound, and she sent me this photo of an ad in the back saying, Jack Russell puppies for sale, Dorset. That was on a Monday. On the Wednesday, I brought John and Murray home. And they are Fox Warren Parsons Jack Russells. They're long-legged, very affectionate, ruthless killers. And the first line of the book used to be, after they killed the deer, we knew it was time to take John and Murray more seriously.
Very good opening line.
I know, the
You had to change
publishers
it.
didn't
It's
like it.
it's
They
too
thought it was a
harsh.
bit off-putting.
No, I think it gets us straight into the drama.
They were only 6 months old.
Wow.
And then, because of the way we roll with our dogs, we just go, we don't use leads, we just walk around the farm, for their exercise. And pretty soon they were off. They were off and away. We put GPS trackers on them. But there was no help. You could just see how far away they were, and we were really despairing, And then we found, reached out to all kinds of people. Then found a woman called Ingrid Grayling in Devon, who we had one day with, and she gave us homework, 6 weeks of homework, 4 20-minute sessions with each dog every day separately. It was a nightmare. And then I was doing Wuthering Heights, so I kept going away. So poor Philippa had 8 20 minutes, with these dogs who looked like they weren't paying attention. And anyway, we got there. We got there in the end. But that's what the book is about. But it's more involved than my telling of it there. And they're amazing animals.
Have animals taught you something that you carry through in life?
I think, yes, their presence has taught me what I think about the world, which isn't that it's ours to administer. I think it's ours to share. And that does involve some animals getting killed by other animals. You stick your head in the ocean, the big fish eat the little fish, don't they? And that's kind of how everything's evolved. So I'm a carnivore. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm also interested in animal welfare, even the welfare of the animals that get eaten. But I see it more as sharing, and because when you live in the country, you're in leafy barns, you're exposed to the seasons. You see the changes in time, and I feel that if you live in a city, you are still part of nature. You're just not witness to it, are you? But I love that witness to it, and I just sort of feel that going out in it with the animals. I love walking the dogs. I love it beyond anything.
You've written a book about remarkable animals. Who's the most remarkable person that you think you've encountered outside of Philippa?
Do you know, funnily enough, one of the nicest people I ever worked with was Sam Neill.
Sam Neill.
Who we lost,
only the other day,
week, yeah. He was a really
What
nice
did you do with
guy.
him?
I did a terrible film with him. It was so bad it never got released, I don't think. He was in it. Helena Bonham Carter was in it. Kristen Scott Thomas played my wife. Steve Coogan was
Gosh.
It was an Alan Ayckbourn play called Revenge's Tragedies. I don't know why Miramax took it and shelved it, but this was before mobile phones. He was out there one day. He was quite a good artist, and he was sketching what was beyond the trailers when we were in the countryside out there. And he then faxed that to his family to show what was going on. And then he would ask questions. You know, when you're all together, there's so much waiting when you film something, so much waiting. He'd go, "What's your favourite restaurant, Martin?" You know, and he'd start these wonderful conversations. And then intermittently, he'd reach out every now and again and send an email or something. "Oh, I saw you in this and I did that." And he loved his vineyard and all of that.
That's a good memory to
He's
have.
just a really, really nice guy. Yeah, I hoped that I'd bump into him once again. But
Your father, being a conscientious objector, was also an atheist. Do you have faith in your
Yes.
life?
No. Not that one. No, I don't have an other being.
But you sort of believe in the beyond, because your
Yeah, I
father
know.
has curiously sent you this message,
Yeah.
which does seem credible to
Yeah,
me.
doesn't it? Yeah. Credible and welcome.
Credible and welcome. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the end now, and we have 3 quick questions. You've got to really give the answer that comes straight into your head, Martin.
Righto.
A moment of joy, particularly from your early life. A moment of joy.
Okay. When we were doing the very first, the Doc Martin Sky films that weren't the TV Doc Martin, our friend Sue Godfrey came down to stay with us. Emily was a baby at the time, and we were staying in Rock. And it was a beautiful sunny evening, and we'd booked a table at Rick Stein's seafood restaurant, and we took the ferry across. Lovely. And we ate, and it was the first time I'd been in that room, and he's got fun. Do you know it?
I do.
Those paintings, I know them quite well now. It's my favourite restaurant in the whole world, and I think it's because of that one night. It was the first time we had a night off. We got a babysitter for Emily, and Sue was with us, and we went there, and the food is off the scale, isn't it? And the service is out of this world. And it never fails for me. I got slightly worried when they rearranged the room and moved the bar, but I'm okay with it now because the paintings are still there and the food is still fantastic. And just the spot. We did a day cookery course in the school there once as well. I just love that spot.
And what about a moment of sadness?
Well, there was it was really sad when my father-in-law died in COVID. Not of COVID, but in COVID. It was a sort of catalogue of disasters. I was really sad because he was fabulous.
Is your mother still alive?
No.
Did she remarry?
No.
But was she okay? Were you a good friend to her, do you think, as the years went by?
So, yes. I wish she had maybe remarried because...
She was a long time a widow, wasn't she?
Yes, she was. But I think because it had sort of slightly soured,
Yeah,
I think she was.
yes.
That's enough of that.
So she was on her own anyway.
Yeah, she had a great circle of friends and her antiques and stuff. But, yeah. Yeah, well, obviously that was sad. It was more shocking than sad when she died. But
I thought it might have been one of your animals.
well, when
Except you accepted. What's interesting?
no,
accept-
here's a funny thing. I have a theory, and I've got better at it now. With Jim, I felt really good. I'd made him a coffin. It had 33 tiny tennis balls in it for his journey.
Forgive me, you made him a coffin.
Yeah, I make coffins for the dogs.
For each of your dogs when they
Yeah.
die. You make, because you do a lot of woodwork.
Not the
do you?
Labradors, but yes, I do. I love woodwork. But yeah.
So you make them proper mortise and tenon thing. I mean, you do it nicely.
Yes, I do it nicely.
You make a nice coffin.
Yes.
It's a lovely thing to do.
Yes.
And then you put the balls that you would
There,
throw
it
and
was just filled with...
that normally you would throw and they'd catch and bring
he
back.
loved them. Yeah, he loved them.
So you put tennis balls in the
33.
33.
Tiny ones.
Why did you choose 33?
Was I kept buying them on Amazon. They never looked enough.
And where do you bury them?
In the garden.
And do you have a little ceremony?
Yeah, say a few words. Yeah.
Well, why not? It's
Why not?
lovely.
But I have a theory. I'm better at it now, but personally, when Dad died, it was you've got to be grown up now. You're the man of the house. I was 8. You've got to be grown up. This was feeling. You can't be sad, you must be grown up. And so the grief was sort of not allowed. And we are funny about death in this country. It's a bit embarrassing and secretive, isn't it? But we don't have those hard and fast guidelines when our animals die. And in the past, when Mary went, that was terrible, our first spaniel, I think that your grief for the dog unlocks all these latent, locked up griefs in reserve, and they can come flooding out. I've felt it in the past. Yeah. Well, then you get better at it. Put one of my horses down last year. That was sad.
Gosh.
I didn't make him a coffin.
I imagine not. You're good, but not necessarily that good, honestly. Any regrets?
Regrets?
No, there's no point, is there?
No.
Moving swiftly on.
None of it was my fault. I bimbled into it.
Yeah, you did. The great bimbler. Have you ever done Chekhov and Ibsen?
Yes, I played Soglione in The Three Sisters at the Bristol Old Vic once.
Yeah.
I did lots at the Bristol. I loved it at the Bristol Old Vic. That was the best of my theatre experiences.
You'd be good at all that. You want to go back and do a bit of that, in my view. I mean,
I love filming though, Giles. I really love it.
Do you?
I love it. Puts you back in the same working day as the rest of the world.
Yep.
It's weird when you work in the theatre, isn't it? You go home, everyone's asleep. All you do is hang out with other actors, which is fine, but I like all the guys, the other trades.
Yeah, you do, clearly. You're an interesting phenomenon. So, what, Martin Clunes, of this lifetime of bimbling, what has life taught you?
Very little.
With a perfect bimbler's answer. I want now to dig deeper than that. What has life taught you? You can't fall back in your lifeline, mate.
Just to be nice to everyone. You do that. It's a good practice, isn't it? I know I didn't always. I've grown into it.
Tell me just for a moment why you didn't always, and when was it that you didn't?
I think when the sort of success things sort of happened, can get a bit frenzied. I mean, success. You know,
Were you a man behaving badly?
Not Roger Moore. Yeah, I was a bit. Yeah. It was sort of. No, I can't blame it on that. But yes.
But you were a bit cocky and.
Bit cocky. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
And rude to people and.
Maybe I was.
Oh.
Not habitually,
badly, but just you were
I
conscious
remember
of it.
once being sarcastic to someone, say, "I hope you're not behaving badly," and I saw it impact on them, and I thought, "Why did you do that?" 'Cause it's the first time it's happened to him, you know. And now, and I'm sure you're aware of it. You generally, by and large, with the selfie thing, but you have to take care of these people because it's the first. You know, they can be quite excitable.
Yeah.
The selfies is a different thing, but best not to mind them, isn't it?
Did you ever do therapy?
Therapy when I was a bedwetter.
Oh, for when you were a little boy?
Yes, I
they
went to
felt it would help you.
child psychiatrist. And it sort of happened, coincided with it kind of getting better.
I want to get one of these metal plates that makes a terrible noise. I mean,
You
what
really
an
don't.
What an idea.
I
This is the
can
1960s.
still feel it scratching us through the nasty school nylon sheets. They gave me nylon sheets because they were easier to...
Do you know, I think you needed therapy, not to cope with the bedwetting, but to cope with the treatments for the bedwetting. Did it solve it? I mean, are you...
What, the
are
honker?
You, are you still bedwetting? You
I
share
know,
with
I
us.
haven't. No, I haven't for weeks now.
Look, I'm so glad you decided to be nice and come along to Rosebud. I think you're the best. Martin Clunes, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Giles.